Hello and welcome to another episode of Revolutionize Your Life with Jenkins, where, we're going to explore the power of mindset, personal development, and creating the life you truly want. I'm your host, Lee Jenkins, and today we're going to dive into a topic that can transform how you see yourself, and in turn, how you live your life. Now, I want to start today's episode with a quote that really sets the stage for what we're about to discuss. It's by Dr. Maxwell Maltz, the author of the groundbreaking book, Psycho-Cybernetics. Now, he said, self-image sets the boundaries of individual accomplishments. Now, I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Your self-image, the way you see yourself, acts like a boundary, defining what you believe you're capable of achieving. It controls how you think, how you act, and ultimately, the results you get in life. So today, I want to ask you, what does your self-image look like? Are you aware of how you see yourself? And, more importantly, how is it that self-image affecting your life, your work, your relationships, or your personal goals? Now, we often go through life without realizing that the limitations we see in our circumstances are actually a reflection of the limitations we've placed on ourselves. But here's the good news. See, your self-image isn't fixed. You have the power to change it, to reshape how you see yourself, and by doing so, completely transform the results you're getting in life. Now, in today's episode, we're going to explore the concepts of self-image. How is it formed? And most importantly, how can you consciously create a new, more empowering image of yourself? We'll also go through some practical tools and exercises you can start using right today to begin reshaping your self-image and breaking through the boundaries that have been holding you back. So if you're ready to see yourself in a new light and unlock a higher level of achievement in your life, stick with me for the next 30 minutes and let's get started. Now, I'd like you to take a moment and reflect on this. How do you see yourself? When you think about your career, your relationships, or even your personal growth, what's the image that comes to mind? Is it a picture of confidence, success, and possibilities? Or do you see yourself as limited, uncertain, and stuck? Now, the truth is, most people aren't even fully aware of their self-image. It operates in the background, shaping how we approach everything in life, from the way we handle challenges to how we go after our goals. And, unless we take the time to examine it, we continue living within the boundaries it creates. So let's talk about what self-image really is and why it's so powerful. Self-image is the mental picture you hold of yourself. It's not just about how you look or how others see you. It's about how you see yourself internally. It's that deeper sense of identity that influences everything. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you approach your work, and even how you handle relationships. Whether you realize it or not, your self-image acts like a thermostat in your life, constantly regulating your behavior to stay in line with, what you believe about yourself. Now, this concept was made famous by the gentleman I've already mentioned, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, a cosmetic surgeon who noticed something fascinating about his patients. When he performed surgery to improve someone's appearance, whether it was fixing a scar or reshaping a nose, some patients would experience dramatic improvements in their confidence and behavior. They'd feel like a completely different person because their external appearance now matched how they wanted to see themselves. But here's where it gets interesting. Dr. Maltz noticed that some patients, despite the physical changes, didn't experience any internal transformation. Their appearance was, it was improved, but their confidence and behavior didn't change at all. Why? Because the image they held of themselves internally, their self-image, that hadn't changed. And that's when he realized we all have two images. The one we project to the world, and, the one we hold inside. And here's the thing. It's the internal image, the one you hold deep down, that's truly what's controlling the results you're getting in your life. So let me give you a practical example here. Imagine a person who, on the outside, they look successful. They have a good job, they dress well, they're articulate, and they appear confident. But deep down, if their self-image is one of insecurity, doubt, or unworthiness, they'll constantly sabotage their own success. They might hold back from taking risks, avoid opportunities, or even unconsciously push people away because their internal self-image tells them they don't deserve to succeed. This is why self-image is so powerful. Your results will always be a reflection of the image you hold of yourself. Now let me tell you a story of my own life. There was a time when I was struggling with my self-image. Even though on the outside, things looked fine. I had a career, I was making progress, but deep down I felt limited. I didn't believe I could reach the next level in my life. I saw myself as someone who had potential, but I also saw a lot of limitations, whether it was lack of experience, lack of resources, or simply fear of failure. It wasn't until, I began studying this concept of self-image and how it influences every result in life that things began to change. I realized that the limits I was experiencing weren't coming from my circumstances, they were coming from within. My self-image was like an invisible ceiling, keeping me from reaching my full potential. Once I understood that, I made a conscious decision to rewrite my self-image. I started visualizing myself as the person I wanted to be, not the person I was afraid I couldn't be. And let me tell you, that shift was life-changing. The moment I started to see myself as capable, confident, and deserving of success, opportunities began to open up. I started taking bold actions that I would have probably avoided in the past. And guess what? The results followed. Now this is something I want you to take to heart. You are not your current circumstances. The results you see today are simply a reflection of the self-image you've been holding up until now. But the good news is, you can change that image at any time. And when you change your self-image, you change your reality. Now I know this might sound like a big leap. How can changing your internal image actually change your life? But think of it like this. Your self-image operates like an autopilot. Just like a plane that sets to a specific course. Your self-image sets the course for your behavior and results. If you see yourself as someone who's destined for greatness, your actions will naturally align with that belief. But if you see yourself as someone who's stuck, limited, or unworthy, you'll constantly revert to behaviors that keep you in that place, even if opportunities for success are right in front of you. So how do we change our self-image? Well, that's where we put the power of our mind to work. We consciously choose to create a new self-image, one that reflects who we want to be, not who we've been conditioned to be. It's a process of deliberately rewriting the script of your life and acting as if you're already that person you aspire to become. In fact, this is something that actors do all the time. When preparing for a role, they don't just memorize the lines, they internalize the character. They become that person, and this is something you can apply to your own life. You can create a new self-image by visualizing and acting as if you are already living the life you want to live. Now that we've explored the concept of self-image and how it shapes your life, let's talk about some practical steps you can start using today to change your self-image and ultimately change your results. Now, I want to give you 3 powerful actions you can take right now. These are simple but incredibly effective if you commit to doing them regularly. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's the results of small, consistent steps that build momentum over time. Now, number 1 here is identify your current self-image. The first step is to become aware of the self-image you're holding right now. Most people go through life, without ever really examining how they see themselves. But once you become aware of it, you can start to change it. So here's what I want you to do. Take a few minutes today and write down how you see yourself in the key areas of your life. Ask yourself these questions. How do I see myself in my career? Do I see myself as someone who's capable of advancing, or do I feel stuck? Another one would be, how do I see myself in relationships? Do I believe I'm worthy of love and connection, or do I feel insecure? And here's the third one. How do I see myself in terms of my personal growth? Do I see myself as someone who can improve and achieve great things? Or do I doubt my ability to grow? Now be honest with yourself. This is an exercise in self-awareness. And the more clearly you understand your current self-image, the easier it will be to shift it. So write down anything that comes to mind, especially any limiting beliefs or thoughts that you're going to notice. This will give you a starting point for your transformation. Okay, here's number 2, and it's rewriting the script. It's about creating a new self-image. So once you've identified your current self-image, the next step is to consciously create a new one. Think of it like writing a script for the role you want to play in life. You get to decide who you want to be, what kind of results you want to create, and how you want to show up in the world. So here's how to do it. Take out another piece of paper and write a description of the person you want to become. Be as detailed as possible and write it in the present tense as if it's already true. And here's some examples. Like, I am confident and capable in my career. I take bold steps towards my goals and achieve great results. Another one could be, I am worthy of love and respect. I attract positive, supportive relationships. And a third one could be, I am committed to my personal growth and consistently take action to improve my life. The key here is to focus on qualities and characteristics that align with the life you want to create. This new self-image should reflect the best version of yourself, who you really truly want to be. Now, the third step is to internalize your self-image through visualization and repetition. Just like an actor rehearses their role until it becomes second nature, you're going to rehearse your new self-image until it feels natural and automatic. Now, here's what I want you to do. Every day, set aside 5 to 10 minutes for a simple visualization exercise. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and start to visualize yourself living as the person you describe in your new self-image. See yourself confidently navigating your career, building strong relationships, or achieving your personal goals. Engage all of your senses. See it, feel it, and experience the emotions that come with being that person. As you do this consistently, your subconscious mind will begin to accept this new image as, well, your new reality. The more you visualize it, the more your actions will start to align with that new image, and you'll begin to see real changes in your behavior and results. But here's the important part. Repetition is the key. You can't just do this once and expect a miracle. Just like anything worth achieving, changing your self-image takes time and practice. Commit to this process every single day, and you'll start to notice subtle but powerful shifts in how you see yourself and in the results you get. Now, here's a bonus tip for you, and it's about surround yourself with positive influences. One more thing I want to add here is your self-image is always influenced by the people and environment around you. If you're constantly surrounded by negative criticism or people who reinforce your limiting beliefs, it's going to be much harder to create a new self-image. So take a look at your environment. Who are you spending time with? Are they people who believe in you, who uplift you, and who support your growth? If not, well, it might be time to make some changes. Surround yourself with positive influences, whether it's friends, mentors, or even books and podcasts that inspire you, and you'll find it much easier to build and maintain a healthy self-image. Okay, now that we've explored the practical steps to start shifting your self-image, let's pull it all together with a key insight that I want you to take away from today's episode. Your self-image really truly is the foundation of your reality. The results that you see in your life right now, whether it's your career, relationships, or personal growth, are a direct reflection of how you see yourself. If your self-image is one of confidence, capability, and worthiness, those qualities will show up in your actions and your results. But if your self-image is built around limitations, doubt, and fear, you'll continue to hit the same obstacles and stay within the same boundaries. I want you to really let the sink in for a moment. Just think about that for a moment. The way you see yourself determines what you believe is possible for you. So here's the empowering part. You have the power to change your self-image at any time. Just like an actor can step into a new role, you can consciously choose to step into a new version of yourself. You can rewrite the script, visualize the life you want, and start showing up as the person you've always wanted to be. Now think of your self-image again like a thermostat, constantly regulating the level of success, happiness, and fulfillment you experience in life. If your self-image is set to low, well, it'll keep pulling you back to those limitations, no matter how hard you try to push forward. But when you raise your self-image, when you start seeing yourself as someone who deserves success, who is capable of achieving great things, well, that's when you break through the ceiling. You reset the thermostat to a higher level, and your results start to reflect that. But here's the key. This process requires intentional effort. It's not enough to simply hope for change. You have to actively create it. The exercises we talked about here, reflecting on your current self-image, rewriting your new self-image, and visualizing it daily, are all part of that process. And if you commit to them consistently, you'll start to see shifts not just in how you feel about yourself, but in the results you experience in every area of your life. Remember, you are not defined by your current circumstances. The challenges or limitations you're facing right now are not permanent. They are simply a reflection of the self-image you've held up until now. And when you change that self-image, you change your circumstances. So, ask yourself, how do I want to see myself from this moment forward? What would it feel like? What would it feel like to live as the person I know I'm capable of becoming? See, this is your chance to start fresh, to create a new image of yourself that aligns with your highest potential. Don't settle for the old, limiting stories you've been telling yourself. Don't do that. You are capable of so much more, and it all starts with how you see yourself. So, all right, we've basically covered a lot today about the power of self-image and how it influences every aspect of our life. Now it's time to take action. As you know, learning about these concepts is only the first step. It's applying them consistently where the real change is going to start to happen. So here's what I would recommend for you to do today. Is number one, reflect on your current self-image. Take some time today, right after this episode if you can, and reflect on how you currently see yourself. Think about the different areas of your life, your career, your relationships, your personal growth. Ask yourself, what image do I hold of myself in these areas? Be honest and don't be afraid to identify any limiting beliefs or patterns that are holding you back. So, number two, write a new script for your self-image. Once you identified your current self-image, I want you to rewrite it. Take out a piece of paper and describe the person you want to become. The version of yourself who is capable, confident, and ready to achieve your goals. And write it in the present tense, as if it's already true. And read it every single day. Remember, the more you focus on this new image, the more you'll start to embody it. So number three here is practice visualization daily. Make it a daily practice to visualize yourself living as the person you want to be. Spend just 5 to 10 minutes each day, closing your eyes and imagining yourself achieving your goals, building strong relationships, or excelling in your career. See yourself as that person. Feel the emotions of success, and let those feelings guide your actions. Now, if you found today's episode helpful, I'd love for you to do a few more things. First off, subscribe to this podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode of Revolutionize Your Life. Every week, we'll be diving into powerful ideas and strategies that will help you take control of your mindset, your self-image, and your results. Now, if this episode resonated with you, there's a good chance it could help someone else in your life. So share this episode with a friend, family member, or a colleague who you think could benefit from learning about the power of self-image. Together, we can create a ripple effect of positive change. Now, I'd love hearing from listeners like you, so if you have any questions, insights, or stories about how today's episode impacted you, feel free to reach out. You can find me on most social media platforms like Facebook or LinkedIn. Let me know what you're working on and how you're applying these tools to transform your life. Your journey inspires me just as much as I hope this podcast is inspiring you. And finally, remember, the way you see yourself today doesn't have to be the way you see yourself tomorrow. You have the power to create a new self-image, one that aligns with the person you want to become. So start today. Take those small steps. Rewrite your script and start living as the version of yourself that you know deep down you're capable of being. Now, I want to thank you for joining me on today's episode of Revolutionize Your Life with Jenkins. Until next time, keep believing in the power of your mind and the greatness that's already inside of you. I'm Lee Jenkins.